Take one.
This is what people are supposed to do, right? It's actually one of the only things I still have from my childhood. I don't know why I've kept it. My name's Brittani Bartok. I'm a content creator and social media manager in women's soccer for the last 14 years. I don't think of what I do as work or a job necessarily. I feel more of like a creator who has had the audacity to fill voids in this sport and in this world that I love. Most influencers or someone directing a social media account often gauge their success on likes or engagement, but I've always had a very different approach. For me, the greatest indicator that I've done my job is to see people have a greater vested interest in the players and the teams. It started to sound pretty cliche, but being you is one of the most important things. I feel like there's been so much emphasis on that lately, but rarely do I see it translate to social media. If anything, social media is where you go to get the most superficial or misleading views of someone or something that you could possibly get. I think the advantage that I've had is that I'm a young female who's completely immersed in the sport and the community, and I've either played, coached, or am good friends with anyone I've ever shot. And I think that really comes through and reflects in my content. You can't fake comfort level and trust when it comes to shooting with people. I think that's extremely invaluable. What I try to keep in mind is this is women's soccer. People don't get into women's soccer for the money. People are a part of this game because of their love for the sport. Players aren't trying to win games and score goals so they can buy their second Ferrari. These are some of the most authentic and self-driven athletes you'd ever get the pleasure of knowing. When you're working with that kind of quality, I think you're doing the sport almost an injustice to share anything less than what is. Even if I wasn't working in women's soccer or in sport at all, I know unquestionably that how I approach my work has everything to do with what I learned from playing the game and what I learned about myself from playing the game. For as long as I can remember, the game was this outlet for me to express myself creatively. I loved spending time with the ball and around the game. I liked to be creative. I developed so much confidence from what I was able to do with the ball at my feet. I never cared how many defenders were trying to stop me. I never cared how many people doubted me. I was way too caught up in my own unique reality and my love for the game.
The cross through the middle, getting a head on it is Bartok, and it's in the goal. An assist and a goal now. The Heels are up 3.
Now fast forward to college at the University of North Carolina, and I'm not only coached by one of the most successful coaches of all time in any sport or gender, but one of the biggest believers in women's soccer, in pioneers, and in art. How lucky could I have been? When I started UNC's social media accounts 14 some odd years ago, teams having social media accounts was a very foreign thing, but something in my gut told me that this was something our team needed, and I felt a calling to be the person that was going to do it. It actually wasn't until years after Anson had hired me that an ESPN writer brought to both of our attention that I was running the most followed accounts in college soccer. It's never been about that for me. Playing and now working under Anson Dorrance has been nothing short of a blessing. He has so much respect for me as a player, as a human, as an artist, and the thing that stands out the most is that he has always given me full freedom and trust to create, and to create so freely. Honestly, that is one of the most invaluable things I have ever been given, and everyone deserves to have an Anson in their life.
I think the kids had a good time. Yeah.
Your favorite moment?
On a sea log, acting like the Great Wall of China when someone volleyed at your waist.
I don't think anyone has become a pioneer by being afraid to make unpopular decisions or is deterred by the idea of a struggle. As a pioneer, you know that with struggle comes the hope of change. Whether you're cutting senior, veteran national team players and replacing them with promising young kids, trying to bring home your country's first World Cup like Anson, or you're me, just trying to create your own niche in successfully marketing women's soccer, you're prepared for the struggle of going against the grain, and you're driven by the thought of change and potential success. I've found through the last 14 years of what I guess you can say is my own case study that people are really drawn to behind-the-scenes content. It doesn't always have to be the most polished piece to resonate with someone. It's actually quite refreshing for people to be able to see some of their favorite athletes as they are. It really helps grow the women's game. I think creating a vested interest in these players as people is hugely key to being able to successfully market the sport. One of the greatest examples I can give you, and it was this key moment in my mind where I knew that what I was doing was gonna make a difference, it was worth my time. Here at UNC, we had a third string player who would star in a lot of these behind-the-scenes videos, and they were very goofy and they were very unpolished, but she had an amazing personality, and that's not something anyone would have known coming to the games. But what started to happen after 4 or 5 videos had been put out is she would have a longer line for autographs after the game. Something just clicked in that moment, and I thought, well, isn't this interesting? The impact that sharing someone's authenticity and sharing someone's personality was having an impact on ticket sales and people really caring about the result of a match, not just because they wanted UNC women's soccer to win, but because they wanted so-and-so to win. They wanted their personality idol to win. It wasn't just about who was the absolute best soccer player. If I had the ability to make everyone who's watching this video feel obligated to do something, it would be one of 3 things. Invest in, be an emotional support for, or you yourself become an authentic female creator. My name is Brittani Bartok. I'm a content creator and social media manager in women's soccer for the last 14 years.